Hi, I'm Dave Voracek, CEO and co-founder of Expanso and co-founder of the open source distributed compute platform Backayao. Expanso is about bringing distributed compute to the world, specifically making it easy for people to deploy their compute where their jobs are. The biggest problem that we see all across the industry and government today is that data is exploding. It's seen as incredibly valuable, but it's growing everywhere, and it's growing in a global way. The challenge is when it's growing not inside your traditional single data center. So folks typically will take their data and centralize it, but centralizing adds risks and adds bottlenecks. If you have computers everywhere, from far edge to remote data centers or multiple data centers, you can run into different challenges around regulation, data security, and so on. Yet this is the default for our industry, both commercial and governmental. Many people have migrated to a modern data stack, which pays big dividends. But an exclusively centralized modern data stack, including all of these tools that you see here, will struggle. There's just no way around it, just due to physics. And then when you add things like robotics and multi-cloud, Internet of Things, you're increasing the difficulty. And that's not to say you need to remove all those other platforms. They're great, keep using them. But you need to augment those platforms with an additional platform that shows you how to deal with these challenges with distributed data native. So the problem is with an exclusively centralized approach, it will never provide the reliability and security needed for global data pipelines, worldwide networks, and particularly for autonomous systems and robotics. This is where Expanso fits in. It helps you process your data and manage your compute remotely in the real world. And this will help you address the next trillion devices. And we don't require ripping and replacing. Keep using the great tools that you're using today. Instead, what we do is we're a layer in front of many of those tools and designed to run in collaboration with all the tools you see here and more. It just makes it feel like those remote locations, autonomous regions, edge, multi-cloud, you name it, get the same kind of modern treatment, usually reserved for a data center in Herndon. And when you do this, you actually make your core architecture better. We already have two proofs of concept in flight right now with defense. Specifically, Lockheed Martin is using us in a proof of concept around the C-130 system. And the US Navy is using us to process in the North Atlantic on UUVs through defense unicorns. And while we aren't the prime on either, the feedback from both teams is that we have met and exceeded expectations. We have lots of common real world use cases, including adding metadata, cleaning data, processing data, taking real time advantage of events that happen on the fly, and of course, securing. One example that I'd like to highlight here is what we call a distributed data warehouse. Before Expanso, you might have something where you have a factory floor or a remote base with many hundreds or thousands of IoT devices processing a whole bunch of data in the field. Unfortunately, this data is very often poorly structured. It has to deal with unreliable connectivity, and the data must be entirely processed and moved back to a central architecture before you're able to process and take advantage of your new wisdom. When you layer in Expanso and a distributed architecture like this, you put your processing nearby where the data is actually being collected. This makes it much more efficient and much more streamlined. At the end of the day, you're reducing the amount of signal that you need to move, meaning that less people will be able to sniff what is happening where, and you are speeding the time to get access to the new knowledge that you've collected from all those devices, even if you're operating in a contested region. We are a pure dual use technology with folks already adopting us in the real world. This is from a calculation we did with a real world customer where we showed against their existing log processing solution, we were able to save 98%. That is not a typo, 98% over their existing solution. The cost savings alone make it worth it, yet they also got faster and better insights. And here's another example from the real world. We are being deployed alongside solar fields in Southwest Australia, processing live feeds from solar inverters, helping them to manage grid loads real time. Our team has done this already. We have already participated. We worked at Amazon and Microsoft and Google. We know what tools look like for managing global infrastructures and what they use internally to do that. And we're really trying to bring that wisdom to the world. Overall, at the end of the day, this simplifies and makes much more streamlined your overall data infrastructure. And we would love to help both government and commercial teams alike adopt the same kind of efficiency they have internally. At the end of the day, you will see many customer benefits. And the benefits that matter the most to you are the ones that we can help you focus on. But most of all, this is a general platform that adopts and helps you get ahead of what is a coming wave of digital transformation. And with that, thank you very much for the opportunity.